Jackson.
Hey.
Hey, you gotta bounce. My parents come back in an hour.
Oh, shit, man. Can I get some water? What? Okay, I went a little wild last night. I can admit that. I'm the king of the world, Logan! The king of the world!
You went a little wild?
I'm the king of the world, Logan! The king of the world!
Sure are.
Shit. Oh. I see.
Is what happened next coming back to you too, or do I have to?
I'm gonna rip your fucking balls off! That whole thing was a custom job! Do you even know how much it cost me? $100?
$1,500.
Oh.
Do we have that kind of money, Jackson?
No. No, we don't.
Of course you don't! You're just out at fucking frat parties. You don't have shit! Yo, play Mahjong?
What? And what? I just agree to that?
I thought you knew what you were doing. You do know how to play, right?
Every Wednesday and Friday at this location. Park away from it, near the highway, and just walk to it. And you even think of not showing up, we will fucking kill you. Nah, I'm just playing. Now go win some.
I asked around my friends about these guys, and from what I hear, they don't mess around. You're entering a world of danger, Jackson. A world that you and I don't belong to.
I know that.
Like the guy said, you only have one chance to make things right. I don't think that's bound to happen again. You actually think about going?
You're asking me like I have a choice.
Right.
You must be the kid Mark was talking about.
Yeah.
Dylan's gonna clear his seat in a couple seconds. Then we'll do you into the game. Go ahead. Sit down. How much did you bring?
Pardon?
Did you bring some money to ante up with, like Mark told you to? Exchange those with the scoring sticks. You play 100 points to $1. I'm Thomas. Steve is the guy on my right, and Rudy's the one on yours. You be dealer this round. You go first.
Do you not know how to play, retard?
Why the fuck would I know how to play Mahjong?
No, hey, let's cool it.
You've got some nerve to come down here just to disrespect us like you're some hot shit.
I think you need to pull some tiles out of your ass.
You wanna go sit out with the other faggot fuck over there?
Yeah, I think I will.
You don't look like you belong here.
Neither do you. I'm Leo.
Jackson, you owe them money too?
What?
I said, do you owe them money too?
No. Do you?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
What about you? Why are you hanging out in a dump like this?
I guess you could say I like to stay active in the local Mahjong scene.
So what? You understand what's happening over there?
Yeah, of course. What, you don't know how to play?
You heard me back there.
You were being serious? I thought that was a bit or something. Why would you come here if you don't know how to play Mahjong?
Like I said, man, I don't really have a choice.
You couldn't watch any YouTube videos of it?
Yeah, but it just seems like a lot.
Yeah, I get that. It's gonna take about 15 minutes for their game to end, I'm guessing.
Yeah? And?
Looks like I've got to teach you how to play Mahjong in 15 minutes. Mahjong is a hand-building game. The goal is to build yourself a winning hand of 14 tiles, specifically a winning hand made of 1 pair and 4 melts of 3s. Just like playing cards, there are different suits to the tiles. Mahjong has 3 main suits, along with honor tiles, but we'll get into that later. The first suit is bamboo. You can count the number of bamboo to tell what number the tile is. Oh yeah, all the suits go from 1 to 9, by the way. Next are the ones with the dots. Only here they call them pins. Again, pretty self-explanatory. The hardest suit is the character tiles. Unless you can read basic Chinese, you're gonna have to memorize every character with its number.
Or you could do this.
Now a pair in Mahjong is exactly what you'd expect. 2 of the same tiles. There are 2 types of melds though. You can either collect 3 of the same tile, called a poem, or 3 that create a numerical sequence, like 1, 2, 3, called a chi. The typical turn starts with you drawing a tile from the wall, which is just like drawing a card from the deck. Once you draw a tile, you either discard it or swap it with something in your hand. You keep doing this until you draw yourself a winning hand. 1 pair and 4 sets of pawns or cheese. That's it. But that's not the only way of winning though. If your opponent discards a tile that completes your triplet set, you can call it out to steal it. You call out pawn if it completes a pawn meld,
Boom.
and chi for a chi meld.
Gee.
Remember, you can only steal if you have 2 out of the 3 tiles already in your hand. Oh, and you can only call chi if you're to the right of the person discarding.
Say, isn't it like Gin Rummy?
So you know how to play Gin Rummy, but not Mahjong?
No, I don't know how to play either, but do you know how to play Gin Rummy?
Why the fuck would I know how to play Gin Rummy?
Well, I feel like they play the same way. They have
Can
the
we
same
just get back to
rules.
Mahjong?
Yeah.
Once you're 1 tile away from a winning hand, you're in what's called a tenpai, a state of waiting. From here, you can either draw your winning tile on your turn,
Sumo.
or you can call someone else's discard and have them pay the brunt of the score.
Roll.
Find your tiles, build a winning hand. That's all Mahjong is.
Home. Oh, chi. Pong. Wrong.
You don't have a Yaku, it doesn't count.
What?
You don't have a winning hand, dumb fuck. You called Ron incorrectly.
What do you mean? I have the 4 melds in the pair. See? I have the triplet, the sequence, the triplet, the other triplet, and the pair. That means I win, right?
You can't win with stolen tiles unless you have a Yaku, and you don't. So you don't win. 5,000 point penalty.
What? Leo, what the fuck?
Yeah, about that.
Like the asshole said, it'd be too easy in Mahjong if you could just steal people's tiles left and right. Because of that, there's an additional requirement for your hand to qualify as winning. Think of it as a poker hand, but one that's mandatory to win the game. This is a Yaku. The most basic and easiest Yaku is a closed hand, basically where you never steal any tiles. Once you start stealing tiles though, you have to rely on other Yakus. A common one is a pawn of one of the dragon tiles. Green dragon, red dragon, white dragon. The same goes for the win tiles, depending on where you sit and what round it is. There's a whole bunch of other complicated Yakus that are viable, but the gist is this. If you want to steal tiles, you have to pay the price.
Why is this shit so fucking convoluted, man?
That's Mahjong, man.
Every time I feel like I'm doing something right, some rule comes along and fucks me in the ass.
Hey, just give it some time. It'll all come naturally.
I don't understand how people put up with this game. I don't understand how you put up with this game.
I just like the game, man.
So you hang around a bunch of neo-Nazi fucks just because you like the game?
Maybe I do like it that much.
That's bullshit. Why are you really here?
Okay. You're right. I'm not just some super fan of Mahjong. I like to write. Well, I do write, professionally. Sort of. I write for this zine that focuses on local arts and stuff. You probably heard of us. Or maybe not. We're not that big. Anyway, I thought that this place would make for an interesting piece. And you can probably see why.
So what? They just let you hang around them for free publicity?
God, no. You already see how secretive they are about their little club. I'd hate to think what they'd do to me if they found out I was just some journalist.
Then why?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I play Mahjong?
I guess they're running out of people to play with, huh?
No, it's not that. I mean, they probably hate me for my skin, my creed, my culture. But Mahjong is the one line that bypasses all of that. to reach to both ends of our worlds. Maybe they truly love the game so much that it outweighs those prejudices, even just by a little. And that fascinates me.
What a bunch of fucking weirdos. So, why Mahjong?
Why play anything? Because it's fun.
I know, but this is like Mahjong, not checkers. The most Chinese game you could ever play.
Sumo.
I just think it's a bit unusual, you know, paired with your political background and all. No offense.
We play the Japanese variant, Riichi Mahjong. I thought a chink like you would have bare minimum knowledge of what we were playing.
See? This is what I'm talking about. Why does a guy like him get all hard ass about Chinese gin rummy? Shouldn't you guys be storming the Capitol again?
Oh, fuck you.
It's alright, Rudy. I can see why he would think our whole thing is unusual.
Yes. Thank you.
You might think of us as white supremacists, Jackson, but that's really not the case.
Oh, here we go.
Truth is, we appreciate a lot of cultures in the world, even those outside of our Eurocentric boundaries.
Uh-huh. Appreciate.
We were lucky to be introduced to such an endearing game.
Introduced by who?
It was Blake, wasn't it? Blake was the one who taught y'all, right?
You keep your fucking mouth shut, boy.
Fuck you.
Guys,
People just can't help flapping your fat fucking lips, can't
Rudy,
you?
shut the fuck up!
So, who's Blake? Does he run the whole operation here? I want to play this, Blake.
Not happening.
Why?
Blake only plays good players. And judging by your sticks, you're far from that.
So what? I just gotta get good?
It's more than that. Blake doesn't see you as someone that's worth his time.
What's that supposed to mean?
He only surrounds himself with people who share his love for the game. You're here to clear your debts, Jackson, or dive deeper into them. Whatever the case is, it's below Blake's priorities. You play to escape your past. Blake plays to play Riichi Mahjong.
On that note, allow me to demonstrate Riichi Mahjong's namesake. Riichi!
The final difference that elevates Japanese Mahjong from other variations comes from the Riichi rule. When a player's closed hand is one tile away from winning, the player can double down on their odds, betting a 1,000-point wager that they'll win the hand. Once Riichi is called, the goal of your game isn't to win anymore. It's to survive. To pray to God you don't discard his winning tile. That's what the game becomes.
Careful. Wouldn't want you throwing out the wrong tile now, would we? Looking through your opponent's discards is one way to predict what they might be waiting on. But even that only gives you bits and pieces to the full picture. Look at my tiles, Jackson. Tell me what I'm waiting on. You can almost feel it up the ass, can't you? That feeling that you're one step from losing it all. Once Ricci's called, my hand's in autopilot. I can't change any of it. He leaves only one tile in this wall that burns for me. Can you feel the gravity between the tiles, pulling itself to my hand like it knows where it belongs? Clearly, gravity won.
G. Pong. Pong. G. Ricci.
As of now, Jackson has accumulated $1,325 of his $1,500 debt. With his growing grasp and eagerness of the game, it is entirely within the realm of possibility that he will completely pay off that debt within less than 2 games.
Pong.
Leo has finally finished his rough draft for what he has titled Mahjong, the rising wind of the alt-right. While far from polished, a complete manuscript is very much on the horizon.
You know, I finally get why you guys love this game so much. Seems like a simple pattern game on the surface, but it really does get complicated, doesn't it? Like, I could hold on to my 6 of bamboos right now to wait on my triplet of 6s, or toss out my 6 to keep my 5 and 6 of bamboos to wait on either the 4 or 7 of bamboos for a sequential wait. So many ways to play it, right? It's the little things like that that makes this game so interesting. I'm sure that's what Blake noticed too.
Kissing Blake's ass isn't gonna get you any closer to him, Jackson. And I'd focus on the game at hand if I were you. You're not out of the woods yet.
I'm not kissing up to him. I'm just realizing we're a lot more similar than I thought. Ricci.
You came here to play Mahjong, Jackson. How hard is it for you to shut up about anything else?
For me to love Mahjong means to know its source. And in this case, the source is just one simple man.
Oh, I wouldn't call him a simple man.
Then let him prove that to me. Let him come down and prove me wrong.
He's got nothing to prove to you. Drop it, Jackson.
He's got everything to prove if he's actually who you say.
I said drop it.
Maybe he moved on to Chinese checkers.
Don't go there.
Go!
When 2 players are waiting for the same tile to win and call roan at the same time, the player who comes first after the discardee would get the tile. In that case, it would be Jackson. letting him win this hand.
Fine. He wins the hand.
$125. That leaves me with just $50. $50. Wow. That's it. It's a shame, really. I feel like my time here has been kind of a blur. One more game and poof, you might not ever see me again. Of course, Mahjong is a gambling game. For all I know, I could just as easily lose everything in the next hand.
What are you trying to pull now?
What I was missing from reaching Blake. The gamble. All this time, I've been winning little and losing little. Baby steps. But now, I've got something to lose. I win this hand, you take me to Blake. If I lose, I make you the $1,500 all over again.
That's not happening.
It's a win-win deal for you. You don't lose anything. You either win $1,500 or you just let me go right in and say hello to your boss.
Throwing away your future carelessly isn't something that Blake thinks highly of. It just makes you look stupid.
Thomas, everything I've done up to this point has been stupid. Me breaking the windshield, me agreeing to play this game with people like you. Every step closer I get into this is a step further from my brain telling me, stop! What the fuck are you doing? But the one thing that's driving me back here is this gravity. This gravity to Blake, Mahjong. But what I'm betting on isn't whether I win this next hand or not. It's to prove whether this gravity between me and him exists.
We'll see what happens.
One sequence and one pair, and one white dragon. If I don't get 2 more dragons to form a triplet as my Yaku, I might have to commit to a straight flush with all my pin tiles to qualify as 1. Shit. Gee. Sorry.
You're welcome.
I never thought I'd say this, but I look forward to seeing your dumb face again. Ricci. Judging by the fact you're stealing tiles now, you must be confident you have a Yaku. Hell, I'd even go as far as to say you're in Tenpai, waiting on one more tile to win. Well, guess that makes 2 of us. Both of our tiles are in there somewhere. I know it. Just a matter of who draws it first. You were talking big about gravity earlier. Let's find out whose is stronger.
Poem. Poem. Poem.
No.
Yes!
There's not even a hint of a Yaku here. You weren't even trying to win.
And what's wrong with that?
He was playing in cahoots with you. You had him acting as your child bitch, skipping my turn until you won.
There's nothing in the rules against that.
It is problematic how he called all those tiles.
How would he have known what I was gonna draw? That's gravity.
Sit down.
Tell me, where were you trying to go with this hand? I see you stole some tiles, but that's all useless without a Yaku. I guess I'm stupid. Because I'm missing something. Could you fill me in? Tell me, genius, what were you going for with these, Come on, Mahjong genius, tell me. Don't you fucking touch me, you little shit stain.
Hey! Sit the fuck down!
Despite the circumstances, I recognize what happened as a valid win.
Tell me, you can't be fucking serious.
Therefore, your debt's absolved. You're free to go.
What about Leo?
Leo's our business now, not yours. Don't ever come back here. You understand?
With my dad, I mean, that was the first plan of action for sure. I mean, his company, I was under his wing, and that's where we started, shoveling every day.
Working with Daddy. I remember that's how it used to be back in the mines.
You know, I tried to convince my uncle that there are alien colonies on the moon, but he wasn't really taking it, you know?
We're not gonna follow.
The fuck are you doing here?
I came to see Blake.
What the fuck is it with this guy, huh?
I told you not to show your face around here.
Where's Leo?
Who the hell's Leo?
I said, where the fuck is Leo?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I swear, if you fucking touch him, I'll
I
kill
said,
you.
who the hell is Leo?
I beat you in our game. Now where is he?
You're lucky we let you walk away with your life, especially after all that shit you pulled.
That's him, isn't it? The fucker's over there.
Careful who you call fucker.
He's literally over there. He's 2 steps from the table.
He's not here for you.
So you finally decided to show up, huh? What happened? Tired of watching 4chan and jerking off, so you come and have everyone ride your dick?
Jackson.
Talking about how you're some type of fucking Mahjong god or something, when you're too pussy to even look at me. Your boyfriend sucked too, did you know that? Me and my friends win 1 game and your morons over here are throwing a hissy fit.
Jackson!
Did they tell you what they did to Leo? Hell, was it your idea in the first place?
This is the last time I'm asking you, Jackson.
There's only one thing in this room that's gonna make me leave. 1 game, 1 hand.
Boss.
We'll play one hand. Thomas will act as dealer.
That's what I like to hear.
I'll only play if you agree to bet something within the game.
Name your price.
What I mean is something far greater than monetary value. To be able to look death straight in the eye and carelessly step into it. That is the condition that I will play with you under.
Bet my life, huh? I get it. What do you have to lose? Do I get your head? Maybe I get to be the boss.
I don't have to bet anything. You do. That's how it works here. Are you ready?
Yeah. What the fuck is he doing? Shh. Just watch.
What Jackson here is initiated to Blake is Teleman, known in Japanese as Zetsu Ichimon, the purging of an entire suit. By completely eliminating a specific suit from the game, it increases the chances of players going after the same tiles. While normal Mahjong is open-ended and non-confrontational, Zetsu Ichimon pits one another uncomfortably close, forcing direct conflict between those participating.
Even after putting everything on the line for this game, you still find a way to show us another one of your parlor tricks.
I don't want anyone else coming in and stealing our thunder. This is between me and you, right?
I can't argue with that.
So, you think you're good at Mahjong?
It's a complicated question. What do you think it means to be good at Mahjong?
I don't know. You win a lot?
Maybe. But what about a player makes them win a lot?
Knowing what to keep and knowing what to get rid of. Every hand has a stinker, and the faster you get at finding it, the better.
So you're saying for that every tile you draw, there's a right tile to discard?
I guess.
What you're suggesting is a rule of survival, a certain logic set in stone that if you follow will give you the highest chance of building a winning hand. But by abiding by those set of rules, sort of a gap begins to emerge in between each one of your right choices. What I mean is, a pattern begins to emerge. There's a reason why we don't throw our discards into some messy pile, but instead line them up neatly to give them the respect they deserve. With every discard that gets you closer to the win, the rest of the table gets closer to knowing your hand. They become hints of your intent, making it easier to fill in the gaps as your pile grows larger. More arrows pointing to your endgame. I can almost see through your hand now. I know what you don't need, so I know what you need. You see, Jackson, true Mahjong isn't about building your winning hand. It's about destroying others, finding out what bricks they need to build their temple, and then ripping it from their grasp, leading them on till you deny them their victory. That's the ultimate joy of the game. But even that isn't enough to push you over the finish line. Sometimes life just likes to stray away from our line of reasoning. Luck is a cheap word to describe it, but not inaccurate. There's a certain presence that hangs over the game, one which carries its own motives. There's only so much strategy you can put into Mahjong before you can merely throw your hands in the air and let fate take the wheel. Fate can pull any hand out of a slump. Fate can do anything. It's completely illogical. That's why it's the complete truth. We humans built rationality, the idea that we understand what happens and why it happens for everything. Leaves little room for something like God to speak to us. I believe they communicate through the gaps in that rationality. In the dark spaces too far for things like reason or logic to shine their light. Things like true chance, true randomness, true coincidence. Our tiles are just the instruments for them to echo down their verdict. All I did was choose to hear them. It's the greatest decision that none of us have any say in. A decision made between the space between the light. That is how we exist. I can feel it. The flow of the game. It's alive, writhing through these tiles even now.
Boss?
I apologize.
So your god is a set of tiles in a board game.
Not God. Flow. The flow of fate. All Mahjong does is help me see its movement through me. And as you can see, we've been following it closely.
Just because you follow fate doesn't mean you follow the right side of history.
None of this is about being right or wrong. It's about whether fate lets it happen.
That's just you denying accountability.
I've never denied anything in my life. I just listen. And what I've heard has given me the strength to move forward. Our country is dancing on the edge of a great divide, and it needs that voice now more than ever.
You're not helping with that divide at all.
And neither are they. But that's irrelevant. All that matters is who's chosen to prevail. By them.
I disagree.
Oh? Then what do you believe in?
Justice.
Expand on that, maybe.
Fate isn't interpreting shit from winning or losing a fucking board game. It's about choosing to act on something yourself. You can't just sit on your ass and hope for a dividing wind to come along and fix everything. Neither can you just stand still and say nothing, hoping that it's God's will. My fate is what I make of it and what my heart does to act on it. My fate is walked on the path of justice.
There's no justice in the world, Jackson. You know this. No one ever gets what they deserve. The world just spins, and there's no reason we can derive from it. Only results.
Then I guess I'll let the tiles decide, won't I?
Yes.
Pum! Pum! You said you could feel the flow going your way, right?
Gee.
Blake,
That flow is what led me here in the first place. Home!
Where the fuck you think you're going?
It's over. I'm leaving now.
What do you mean it's over?
If he drew a safe tile, he would have won. But judging by how long he's taking, he didn't.
The fucking game isn't even finished yet. How do you even know you've won?
There. I just cast a magic spell on my weight. Whichever tile Blake discards will deal into my hand 100%.
You don't even know that! You can't just walk out of here with that bullshit! Jackson, I'm telling you, you need to come back over here right now. Things aren't gonna end well.
Judging from his discards, he's been counting on stealing most of his key tiles from the very start. Any tiles in his discard should be safe. But he'd be petty enough to let his winning tile slide, just to trick me into playing into his hand. On that same note, his Zetsu Ichimon could also just be a bluff as well. But I don't think he'd be that dirty. From my discards, it looks to him like I'm mainly waiting on bamboo tiles, which is true. And looking at my recent discard of the 9-pin, it looks like I've already completed a triplet of 8s. A finished melt, which means it'd be the least likely to be discarded. But that's something that prick would see coming. He knows I'll discard anything to survive. This whole thing's his way of applying pressure on me. In that case, a completely untraceable tile. There's nothing in the discards that points to this. He'd have to be crazy to wait on a tile like this. But this is a man who embraces the irrational. He slithers through logic itself. Nothing is safe from him. But that kind of thinking will keep me going in circles. No wishy-washiness. What I need now is conviction.